offense coordinator Tommy Rees on some coaching points for Shedeur Sanders after that Bears game.
There's certainly fundamental things when you're not – there's a difference between like a physical error and a mental error, right? And, you know, when there's physical errors, you always look at the fundamentals across any position. If a tight end misses a block, are we fundamentally doing the right things with our hands or our feet? If a receiver loses at the top of the route, are we doing the right thing fundamentally on the release or at the break point? For a quarterback, it's no different. Like, is there something with our feet? Is there something – very rarely do you talk upper body. A lot of it you talk, you know, lower body, being in sync, using the right drop. Putting your eyes allow you to be on time and be in rhythm. And again, like, you're a young quarterback playing in this league, like, there's going to be some ups and downs there. And, you know, as often as we can, we want him to feel confident and comfortable. And when he does and he lets it rip, you know, he's as accurate as you'd want. That's one of his greatest strengths, is his accuracy. It's just about getting, you know, sometimes putting the mental side and the physical side together so that you can play on time and play free.
Jeff, that's a really good explanation of playing on time. You know, the feet, the footwork matters, the drop matters to be on time.
Yeah, and this is certainly, you know, something, you know, where you can attribute, you know, whatever you think some of the weaknesses right are with Shedeur, with the offensive line that he has out there. And yes, teams are absolutely blitzing him, and of course you're trying to speed him up. And you know what? If I'm speeding up, then I can't read the defense as fast as I want to. Or, you know, maybe I am, you know, basically shortcutting my drop back, and, you know, I am not doing it the way I would technically do it where I was just trying to show it as an example per se. You're trying to rush through it. And, you know, that certainly can, you know, cause some issues. But then there's also, you know, there's some things that, you know, you just feel bad for the kid. You know, obviously the ball to Judy in the end zone. I mean, there's not a quarterback alive that doesn't turn around, raise his hands in the air and think his guy's catching that. I mean, dumb luck. I mean, the most Cleveland Browns thing ever. You know, the fact that, you know, one page of the wristband fell out. The fact that, you know, the first drive, you know, and everybody wondered why Stefanski, you know, reviewed, you know, whether or not the player from the Bears touched the ball at the goal line. Well, you saw in the ensuing drive why he did. He had a patchwork offensive line, a rookie quarterback on the road in Chicago, cold, windy, and guess what? The first drive basically just, you know, was a fizzle out and a punt because they were in really no position to succeed. So, you know, you would like things to go more like they did, obviously, in the Tennessee game, where they were able to basically just go out and play. Like, you could evaluate Shedeur there, you know, and I'm not saying there weren't weaknesses Sunday against the Bears, but it's a difficult way to give an overall evaluation of his play when you take in, you know, some of the circumstances, certainly some of the things that happened within the game. And, you know, again, I just think it's in a really tough spot here, because I think people so much want a true evaluation on Shedeur Sanders, and it may not be the case that, you know, maybe the phrase to use would be maybe that he doesn't necessarily control his own destiny.